Our film begins with a very rich man named Nero, who hopes to bet on dogs and dog wrestling. Once Nero decides to raise a strong dog, which turns out to be a very cruel dog. After the dog grew up, he used his dog to fight. Nero's dog was so strong that he didn't lose any fights. So Nero decided to his dog fight to ferocious dogs alone. But this time Nero's dog did not succeed and lost the battle. Nero killed any dog that lost the battle immediately. Nero ordered his assistant to kill the dog and left his assistant. And let's also know that all the fighting takes place in a factory and the factory belongs to Nero. Then Nero's assistant takes the dog to kill him with electricity. Nero's assistant then electrocuted the dog several times, causing the dog to bite his hand and seriously injure him. Nero's assistant immediately goes to treat the wound, thinking the dog is dead. When Nero's assistant returns to see if the dog is dead, he sees that the dog is alive and standing. As soon as Nero's assistant enters, the dog attacks him and kills him. Meanwhile, four thieves appear who have just robbed a pharmacy, and the police are chasing them and shooting at them. And the driver disappears from the police but loses control and hits the wall of a factory and dies immediately. And the factory they drove into is Nero's, and now there are three of them left, named Walker, Stacy, and they are forced to go into the Nero factory to hide there until someone comes after them because their car broke down and they can't walk because the police are everywhere. And then Stacy and Walker blame because it was of him that they failed. Stacy then calls him friend to come and take them out of this factory, and him friend tells him to wait until nightfall because the police are all around. The three of them have to wait until nightfall, and they don't know that there is a ferocious dog in the factory. Is looking for some medicine to use drugs. He finds nothing, so he decides to look elsewhere. But at this time the dog appears in front of him. It didn't move, because one cannot move in fear. Then Walker and Stacy appear. They are surprised to see stiff in the distance, but when they approach him, they see the dog standing on the body of Nero's assistant. They slowly start running away because they know they are next. And while running, it drops the bag of drugs. The dog follows them, and before he can reach them, the three of them enter a room and lock the door. Inside, says he will go outside and get the purse, but Stacy stops him and even hits him. Stacy and Walker sit down and talk about their past. After a while, they notice that is missing. They look for him and discover that he has come out of a small hole. It goes to pick up the bag and then goes back to his friends and knocks on the door to open it. But then the dog attacks The dog then follows Walker, and Stacy keeps the dog busy to protect Walker, and the dog follows Stacy. Stacy somehow goes out, and then they lock the door again. Inside, Stacy and Walker treat wound, but the dog finds the hole, and it goes outside. The dog follows them again, but this time before he can reach them, Stacy and Walker go into another room and close the door on themselves. The room where Stacy, Walker, and are is the dog wrestling room. And after a little searching in the room, they find a secret place full of money. Walker collects the money, and Stacy goes to tell but finds that has used a lot of drugs and died. Stacy was very sad to learn that had died because was young. Stacy knew the situation was tense, so he went back to the assistant's body to take the car keys and leave quickly. He goes to the body of Nero's assistant and picks up the car switch. He sees many dogs killed by Nero, but our own dog was hiding among all these dogs. Stacy runs 180, and the dog follows 180. Stacy is forced to hide in an old bus, but the dog quickly finds her because of her sense of smell. Stacy runs away again and hides in a piano. The dog can't find him, but a drop of sweat falls from him, and the dog finds him again. The dog attacks the piano like a dog and breaks it, but luckily for Stacy, the piano falls on the dog, and the dog gets locked and can't move. Stacy wants to go to Walker quickly, but the dog barks sadly a couple of times, so Stacy feels sorry for him and rescues him. And the dog stands in front of Stacy, and Stacy is very afraid to attack him. But the dog is loyal to him and leaves him. Stacy and Walker rush out to find the car. But unfortunately, Nero arrives there. It was the first time Nero had seen the two and thought they were him men. But when he saw the bag, he immediately knew they were thieves. Nero quickly pulls out his weapon and starts shooting, and the bullets all hit Walker, killing him. This time, Stacy runs away from Nero instead of a dog, and Nero follows him like a dog and doesn't stop shooting at him. Stacy eventually reaches the dog wrestling arena, where he loses his way and Nero shoots him. Before he kills Stacy, the dog appears. Nero is shocked because he thinks the dog is dead. He thought the dog wouldn't do anything to him and turned his weapon at Stacy and tried to shoot him. But the dog attacks Nero and they fight, and the dog catches a world of cups from Nero, and Nero shoots the dog. But first the dog can cross Nero and kill him. The dog dies immediately from all these injuries, and Stacy is very sad because it saved her life. Stacy gets rich and goes back to normal life and adopts a dog like Nero's ferocious dog.